Chapter 2: The Turbulent Teenage Years. Adolescence arrives not as a gentle transition, but as a torrent, sweeping David into a world of new freedoms, risks, and revelations. Chapter 2 traces his journey through canoes, camps, and curtain calls, where the lessons of brotherhood, belonging, and resilience are forged in the unpredictable currents of teenage life. Through triumphs and turbulence, David begins to discover the person he is becoming, shaped by both the shadows and the light of these formative years. Vanished. The Disappearance of Doreen. A brother's heart broken and still searching. After my first real heartbreak, I believed I had tasted the worst of pain. I was wrong. Nothing, not breakups, not arrests, not the spiraling chaos of my teenage years, came close to the day Doreen vanished. One moment she was part of the everyday noise of our house. The next, she was gone. No goodbye, no explanation. No trail a 15-year-old boy could understand. Doreen was only 4 minutes older than me, but she always felt years ahead, more intuitive, more emotionally intelligent, more able to read a room in seconds. If Debbie was the steady force and I was the chaos, Doreen was the compass that pointed toward home. And then the compass disappeared. The air in the house changed. Something warm went cold. Something living went still. Silence became a storm unto itself. The unexpected hero. And that's when Lenny Gampson, Dorothy's on-again, off-again truck driver boyfriend from Brooklyn, did something nobody expected. For years, he'd floated around our family, sometimes helpful, sometimes a headache, always a little mysterious. But when Doreen went missing, he turned into something else entirely, a man on a mission. He tapped into the CB radio lifeline of long-haul trucking, a loose brotherhood that stretched from Maine to Miami and everywhere between. Word traveled faster than fear. Keep an eye out for a missing girl from Cohoes. Flyers went up in diners, rest stops, truck stops, loading docks. Truckers checked ramps and overpasses. Voices crackled across the eastern seaboard. Got a girl missing out of Cohoes, copy? These men didn't know Doreen. They didn't know us, but they looked anyway. Sometimes strangers step into the cracks left by family, not because they replace love, but because love is too important to leave to chance. 2 months of breathing wrong. 2 months passed. 2 months where every phone ring could be hope or horror. 2 months where Debbie held the family together with quiet strength, and I learned what helplessness really meant. Then came the miracle. Doreen was found, alive, in Hudson, New York. My mother's knees nearly buckled from relief. Debbie wept so hard her voice disappeared. I stood frozen, crying silently, afraid that if I blinked, she might vanish again. She was home, but changed. Her story is hers alone to tell, if she ever chooses to tell it. But I can tell mine. Her disappearance split something open inside me, a space I didn't know existed, a vulnerability I didn't know I carried. I realized how consumed I had been with my own chaos, my own trouble, my own storms. I had been the loud one, the reckless one, the attention-consuming one. And while I was spiraling outward, Doreen had been carrying storms of her own, quietly, invisibly, with a strength I didn't respect the way I should have. A message for my sisters, should they ever hear this. Doreen, Debbie. If life ever puts this book, this video, this moment in front of you, I hope you hear my heart in this. I miss you. I think of you more than you know, not with guilt or regret, though I have plenty of both, but with love. We grew up in a home full of noise, love, fear, pride, survival, confusion, chaos, tenderness, and silence. We survived it in our own ways, different paths, different wounds, different strengths. I understand now, as a grown man, a father, and a survivor of my own making, that the storms you each weathered were not the same as mine. And I'm sorry for the times I was too wrapped up in myself to see what you needed. I am proud of you, both of you, in ways I did not say enough when we were young. And if life ever wants to give us a second chance, if healing ever wants to circle back and tap us gently on the shoulder, my door, my heart, and my arms are open. For now, this chapter stands as truth. Little did I know that the CB radio prayers of strangers would bring my sister home, and even less did I know how far the emotional distance would grow between us in adulthood. But distance doesn't erase love. It just waits for its moment to return. Cautionary Tale. From Cohoes High to Today's Hidden Dangers. Like Doreen, I sought to escape by running away, albeit for a single evening. When I vanished beneath the weight of my own receding reputation, real danger didn't feel real. It felt like invisibility. What happened afterward, when I skirted law, escaped notice, returned, was less heroic than assumed. It was a pause, a nearly miss that I mistook for survival. But kids like me don't always get back. Sometimes the next fall is silent, unnoticed, or concealed by smiles. Why my story matters, then and now. In 1981, my runaway was physical. A sprint down back roads, empty bottles, and the siren hush of understanding slipping through cracks. Today, the corridors of risk are more subtle. Smartphones, social media, bus rides, broken homes, the unsaid fear. The agencies show this clearly. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, reports that of more than 29,000 missing children in 2024, 1 in 7 were likely victims of child sex trafficking. The Polaris Project indicates that traffickers target runaways and homeless youth, not necessarily through abduction, but through manipulation, promises of belonging, and relational vulnerability. The U.S. Department of State 2025 Trafficking in Persons report emphasizes that trafficking often occurs within national borders, targeting children who aren't crossing anything. They're being exploited right here. The invisible signs and hidden roads. In my high school era, risk looked like booze, rogue truckers, arrests. Today, risk looks like a teen who appears fine, engaging, friendly, normal, but drifting with an old nickname, old loner habits, old coping strategies. A runaway night that doesn't make national news but leaves a child untethered. A teen who finds an older friend who promises freedom, belonging, maybe love, but takes payment in pieces they can't afford to lose. A teen with a phone, a secret, a bus pass, a hazy boundary between home and the street. What parents and teens should know now. Establish check-in rhythms, not interrogations. My father sat silently through courtrooms. His sighs were louder than his words. Today, talking matters, but it must be consistent, calm, curious, not accusatory. Learn the language of purchase and performance. My story had bottles, parties, hastily acquired vodka. Today's story might involve ride shares, social media likes, friends with older circles, anonymous messaging. The currency is different, but the hunger is the same. Recognize that escape often comes disguised as shine. The kid who appears to be winning because of their parties, their hustle, their nickname, may simply be hiding, not healing. In 2025, traffickers don't just chase the abused, they chase the alone. Emphasize belonging over rule breaking. My path found chaos faster than order because belonging felt earned only through risk. Today's teens need safe structures as much as freedom. Equip them to spot relational red flags. Traffickers use romance, gifts, older friends, transportation, promises. They often already know how to speak teenage language. They prey on loneliness, not just vulnerability. My promise to my daughter, to Katie. Katie, I want you to carry your story differently than I carried mine. If you ever feel like the noise is louder than your heartbeat, if you ever feel like someone sees a brand in you instead of the person you are, if you ever feel like the bus ride whispers danger, know this: you are not invisible. You are not replaceable. You are not minor. You are loved. You are seen. You are protected. If escape looks like reckless freedom, ask the question, who's still watching? And who's asking who you are? Because freedom doesn't cost the soul, it releases it. This episode includes insights supported by research from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Polaris Project, the U.S. Trafficking in Persons Report, the McCain Institute, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and the National Runaway Safe Line. Parents, guardians, and educators can find more information in the video description. Thank you for spending this time with me, the Pussycat Wizard. These moments we share, whether in shadows or in light, are threads in a much larger story, one I'm honored to tell with you beside me. As always, the journey continues. The next chapter subsection is waiting, and I'd be honored if you'd walk with me a little further down this road. Until then, keep the wonder alive, and I'll see you in the next episode of Little Did I Know.
In the quiet of my mind, a tempest rages. Mother's convictions, the script of ages. Her voice, a beacon in the fog of my prose. David, she chides In secrecy it goes, beneath my breath a silent plea. Mother, I hear you, but can you hear me? Your Savior, your faith you implore, I embrace. Yet within I wrestle with my own grace. Torn between the divine and my truth. A son's love, a personal sleuth. Have you surrendered? You persistently ask. In your version of Jesus, should I bask? Jane, your call for aid. He's different, you say, a label pre-made. In your eyes I see the fear of a son's path, not straight but queer. I stand at the crossroads of self. My identity not just a book on the shelf. Mother, your love I'll always hold dear, but my journey is mine. Let this be clear. We'll cross paths